The picture of her.
Here she is.
Well,
Hi.
hello.
Thank you so much.
It worked out.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Truth Seekers, my
Yeah,
dear.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So let's just tell our audience. Well, first of all, as always, I'm Dan Horton with my wonderful co-host Erica Riesberg here.
Yeah.
And we are so fortunate today to
Yes.
be interviewing our friend.
An
We're
amazing being of light.
so thankful to call Maqua Iqua, who, if you don't know her, you should know her. First of all, I was lucky enough to meet Maqua when I first came to Mount Shasta in 2019, and did an amazing workshop with her, and have been on several, more than I can count, journey to Telos's with her, which she leads an amazing shamanic journey to Telos, as well as teaches IQM and does all kinds of different healing modalities, which we'll let her get into. And she's coming to us. It's our first transcontinental podcast, which is exciting. Coming from us from Germany, and she's going to Egypt and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we get it. Yeah, so we would just love to get into it. First of all, how are you? How's Germany? And yeah, what's going on?
So yeah, it's great to be here. It's like halfway to Egypt, so it's like fantastic to get over the jet lag. And it's springtime here. We had the first real springtime day, Sunday. All people were out, like birds are chirping. It's like really beautiful. And yeah, I'm just blessed to be here. Have a really good time.
Oh, so happy so happy to see you in Germany. And how's the vibration, would you say, with kind of like the shifting world? And you described spring, which is awesome, but what's kind of like the feel of the people there right now?
So I was really lucky. Just maybe a week before I got here, they loosened up the mandate, the mask mandate, so you can walk around without masks. But it's really a little bit disturbing. Like when you go to a restaurant, you need to bring your driver's license and your test, or the most Germans, they have all the vaccinations on their phone with a QR code. So like they just scan the code and want to see your driver's license. So it was like a little bit like surprised to see that, but I think for Germans that's like the least problem, because like they had such strong restrictions so that's nothing for them at all. So, and I was just lucky even not to wear a mask. Like when you go to a store or anywhere you go, you wear a mask, and they have even special masks. I mean, you cannot go with a normal mask. What we wear, like, that like the handed out mask or the fabric mask, they have like really special mask. And if you don't wear this mask, you're not allowed in the store or in the restaurant either. So it's like still a little German and strict, but good how compared to how it's been. So I'm really happy that I just found this perfect window to be here.
Wow.
Beautiful. And so
I think Mount Shasta is just an island. We cannot even imagine what happens around the world.
Clouds going over the mountain and we're good.
Yeah. It's like people talk about ascending to the other to the fifth dimension, right? We're already in a different dimension here.
Yeah,
we are.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm like, compared to Mount Shasta, you can feel the difference. I'm like, it's really interesting because I'm so used to being in this vibration. So I went to a store and this guy said to me, wow, you have so much energy. I can just feel you're beaming. And I felt just completely normal, just came from a really strong walk and went just to a store, and he gave me this feedback. And I was like just rolling my eyes. I was like, how can this be? And then when I left, I thought like, this must be the Mount Shasta vibration. Maybe I'm still vibrating in 5D somehow.
Mount Shasta, and it's also the Maqua vibration too.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing it with everyone, because clearly you're making a difference.
So yeah, it's like really funny how you don't know like how you affect people, right? Because you feel so normal, and to get this feedback. So I was really surprised in a really, really positive way. So yeah.
Awesome.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome. We'd love it if you tell, if you want to just explain a little bit to whoever's lucky enough to be seeing this, what you do, and kind of also what your impetus was to go to Egypt right now at this time, and how all that came about, and what your feelings going on in the grand scheme of things, I guess.
Yeah, so much expansion, so much transformation. It's just unreal. And I feel like I'm in this like expansive whirlwind. And I don't know, like you probably feel it too, because it's like this time before equinox, and I feel everything is accelerated. And even though I feel like I'm in this kind of vacation business business place, I feel yeah, let me pull back, like because I'm in Germany, just like on the way to Egypt. And so what happened actually, I do Journey to Tellers in Mount Shasta live, and every second Sunday on every second Tuesday of the month online. And in one of those journeys, which is like happening, like we travel to the fifth dimension, to the city underneath Mount Shasta. And High Priest Adama is the mediator between the fifth dimension and humanity. And they are all here to lift up humanity. So, and to let go for every dark agenda and like low vibration, what we may even hold in our field without knowing, like passed down from generations, we may hold in our DNA. So they're helping us to really shed our skin, to make it faster in an easy way up to the fifth dimension, which is like ultimately just a higher conscious. It's not a place, it's like how a higher place to operate from, to be like in this loving place of joy, happiness, and peace, and to operate on this level in any given circumstance. So, and High Priest Adama, in the last 2 or 3 months, every Wednesday when we travel and people just feel called in by High Priest Adama, we would do those journeys. And in the past, it was like being in Taylor City and doing all the things what we do and get a lot of transformation and healing. For me personally, and also for other participants, we actually got to Egypt. And I got all those initiations, and like every single week, I'm like in a different pyramid and different initiations, and it was like just magical. And I was like, okay, that's all great. But then all of a sudden, one day in end of January, High Priest Adama said, you need to go to Egypt. Like, all right, I am ready. I'm gonna go to Egypt. So, and then the next morning, I went for a walk on the lake, and Adama came and said, you need to take a group. I was like, well, I haven't been in Egypt yet, so how does this work? And Adama said, like, you take 15 people and you go on the 19th to the 28th. And I was like, all right, all right, I see how I can pull this off. So I was really determined, because the message was so clear. There was no wavering around. Like Adama was not like, yeah, you should go, maybe you should take people. It was like, you go and you take 15 people, and that's the date. I was like, okay, let me see how I do that. And then everything, like literally, it was like the red carpet got rolled out. Everything like was magically. I worked together with a friend, and she was in Egypt just recently, had all those connections, and went to Egypt already. And like long story short, everything worked out. So we put this up on the website, and it was like, okay, I'm like, it's such short notice. I will just see what happens. I'm like, when people feel called, they feel called, and if nobody shows up, it's like just going to be the two of us, but we don't have any attachment. We just follow the guidance. If people feel they can pull it off, great. If not, great too.
Which is kind of the way you do the Journey to Telos all the time anyway, right? I just wanted to bring
exactly, because because High Priest Adama, he says like, okay, I bring the people, you just sit every Wednesday and you beat the drum, and I will send the people who need to be there, because it's like the Lemurian soul family comes together. And it's like really often when people come to Mount Shasta, they have no idea why they stopped in Mount Shasta, why they feel this strong pull to come to Mount Shasta. And of course, there can be different reasons, because there's like so much going on in Mount Shasta. There's like Amos, the Saint Germain is like a big part of the mountain. But a huge part of the mountain is also Telos city underneath the mountain. And so High Priest Adama is like literally pulling in the people. He has like this big beam of light, like there's etheric pyramid above the mountain, and he's sending out this big beam of light to really call in soul family, Lemurian soul family. And
he has an etheric permit above the mountain. That's
pyramid.
Yeah.
And so like the beam is like really like always out to bring the people in. So people come to Mount Shasta like, okay, I'm here, and now what? So, and most likely when people show up at Journey to Tellers on Wednesday night, they really sometimes they come 5 minutes beforehand. They see maybe a flyer, or like maybe they met somebody on the mountains. They're like, oh, I'm gonna go to Journey to Talos tonight. Would you like to come? And they feel this immediately, like, yes, I want to come. I don't know why. I have no idea what it is, but I would like to check it out. And that's what High Priest Adama does. He calls in the people, the soul family, who may have most likely had a past life on the continent Mu in Lemuria, like 12,500 years back, or even further. So then people come and there's this deep connection, like soul family. It nearly feels like when people come in, you meet old friends. I'm like, when nobody wants to leave, there's like a stand, like a party afterward, basically. And people feel this connection, hang out the next day and go to ecstatic dance together. And there's just this like, oh my gosh, I meet you finally again. And that's what happened in those journeys.
I've
So
felt it many
I
times and been there till
actually,
11:30, 12 at night. Just,
right.
we're so activated from everything. It's like, wow, you went to Egypt and I saw you in Telos and boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's amazing what you do there. And it's just such I can't even describe what happens. If you're in Mount Shasta, you need to check out Journey to Telos on Wednesday whenever Maqua gets back into town, or second Tuesday of, like you said, twice a month online,
No,
right?
like it was the second of the month, the second Tuesday of the month.
Second Tuesday of the month online. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
sorry to take you off track. I just wanted to go into what Telos actually is on a weekly basis and how this has been going on and your relationship with Adama and listening to him and how it just continues to bring you where you need to be, right?
exactly. And the guidance actually becomes stronger and stronger because he was pushing me and pushing me and pushing me to offer more, like do it every Sunday, do it 4 times a month. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I felt like I want to step back a little bit. Maybe it's too much. And now he's like, there's no hiding around the bushes anymore. Like, we push you. And I made a commitment to just follow the guidance, even though it's like sometimes a little scary because you never know what's going to come down the pipe. But it's like, okay, I'm in it, I'm in surrender, and I'm going to do it. So now like the voice becomes much, much more clear as well. So that's why I probably was like, there was no wiggle room with Egypt. There was like not one single doubt in my beingness that I need to do it. And so High Priest Adama said, like, on Wednesday nights, you just sit there with your drum and I'm going to send you the people. And this was exactly the same with this journey to Egypt. It was like, okay, you go. And whenever I checked in, it's like 15 people. How do I even like get those people in like in 4 weeks? I'm like, that's like not 6 months, it's like 4 weeks. And he said, don't worry, just do the best. People will come. So long story short, we made it. I'm like, so I'm halfway to Egypt, and the theme what they channeled me. So I do nearly everyday channelings and dream times. There's so much information what's coming in, and the theme was crystal clear. He said it's expansion, and the expansion is like literally to bring the feminine energy, to expand the feminine energy in both genders, in the masculine and in the feminine. So, and this is going to be a big part of this entire journey. And the expansion, I'm like, we put it on the flyer, expansion in Egypt, and you have no idea. Hold on to your chair. Like, just the preparation for the participants who signed up, so much stuff is coming up, so much like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And the expansion is like palpable. And there are people, even like one participant just yesterday canceled because I think it was so much that she couldn't handle just holding the energy just for a moment. And she was like, I'm out, I can't. So it's just really all the people who need to be there. This is going to be a container so strong for the feminine, this goddess energy to really come out, and everybody where we are at, like on our private journey, whatever it means for our participants, for me, like for everybody, that's going to expand. And I feel my expansion this week in Germany was just tremendous, to say the least, and everybody involved as well, and in the most positive way. I feel like there's just no wiggle room to play small. There's no wiggle room to pull back. There's no wiggle room to be in wishy-washy land. There's like strength, clarity, moving forward, trust your intuition. Don't go off your intuition, doesn't matter what. Follow through with your guidance. And like the normal thing would be, now I just want to chill on my heels and I want to leave. It's too much. It's like, no way. Like, you stay still, you center, you focus, and you just move forward. And I feel in those last days, I feel completely different already. I can say that much because so many decisions, so much download. And in my meditations, I go already into the King's Chamber from the Great Pyramid, and we are lucky to have private audience for 1 hour to be there all by ourselves, which is like an absolute special treat. And so I go in my meditations already there, and like the downloads and the initiations what I got already, it's just off the chart. So I cannot even imagine what's going to happen this week. But it's gonna happen somehow explosive. And we are just totally in the flow, and people as well. And I think the people who come, that's a special crowd of people because they are all called in to tell us as well, to Egypt as well. They all like, I think 4 people from Journey to tell us they got in the journeys also they need to come to Egypt. So when I just mentioned Egypt, they were like, oh my gosh, of course I'm gonna come. I make this work fast, short notice, I'm gonna be there. Because they had the same or similar experience I did, like this really strong pull. And I have to say, I never had anything like this before, because for me, it feels such a strong pull that I feel like the land, the soil is pulling me in, that I feel like when I get out of the plane, I just want to roll in the dirt and kiss the land, because I feel like I need to immerse myself in the dirt. Like, sounds really crazy, but that's the first time I ever had any feelings of doing anything like that. And so we will see. And interestingly enough, so my friend who, like, also the Egyptian friends, they have like who help in the background in preparation or preparing all the logistics, they actually have a sacred land, and just next to the land there's a brand new pyramid which just got excavated, and it's just in the beginning of excavation. Just like nobody was in there, nobody knows anything about that. And I think my entire being knows about the sacred land and needs to be there. And now on top of that, my friend who is already in Egypt, she initiated that a brand new tent, a Bedouin tent, will be got purchased, put up on the land until we get there. Beautiful carpets, like rugs, are gonna be put in there on the just on the soil, and we will do our journey to tell us in there, completely off the land.
Wow.
Just on sacred space. And just to think about it makes my heart nearly jump out of my chest.
I can feel it.
Oh,
Wow.
So
yeah, that was.
yeah, so there's a lot of magic. And I think the people who come, those women, they are so also committed to their transformation. They're like all, they're students of mine, IQM students, Journey to Tell Us people. They're all in this like total commitment to come out. There's like no pebble unturned. If something comes up, we look at it. We're gonna move forward, doesn't matter what. And I think also the people, they're really committed. We had yesterday our meet and greet, that people really get a sense for the people who participate, to get a feel for like the fears and what can come up for people. And everybody was completely committed to their vulnerability in the group. And this is just priceless to notice before we even go, that I feel like the people and everything what we create, that we hold such a strong container, that people are willing, before they even go, to make the commitment. I'm going to go, whatever comes up, and I will be in my vulnerability. So that's beautiful. And I feel really blessed to have those people, because not everybody is open and ready yet to do that.
Well, just what you stated earlier too, that everybody, it sounds like, or at least 4 or 5 people you were talking about in the journey to tell us, all felt that big call to Egypt, and they're all able to make their lives work within a month. And that's a testament to what we're talking about here, right? Moving into the 5D. And Adama, yourself, the connection. allowing this to happen. Because in 3D reality, right, if we allow ourselves to stay in that linear timeline, then thinking that something like that can come together in a month, not only come together in a month with the amount of people, but with actually people that are connected in that way, it would seem to be impossible, right? But we're moving into a time where there is no time.
Right.
Right.
There's no impossibility.
No, we were just talking about it's March already. I mean, we already know in Mount Shasta, we're kind of involved in this in places like Egypt, but I think it's starting to shift in the rest of the world a little bit too, where we can see that. And especially if if you're connected with something, how it can just occur simultaneously before you know it. Like this trip was already there, right? It was already set in the ether before it came to you, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just sad that I can't be there.
Yeah, me too, because I think it's equally what's going to happen. It's equally as important for women as for men, because in the beginning, when I checked in, I thought, like, should we just have a women's like retreat and just take the goddesses from here to there? And I got over and over, no, it's open for both genders because it's equally as important. So in the beginning, we had two men which were really interested, and they even said, like, my inner guidance is pulling me to Egypt. But as it came closer, they were like, maybe not yet. And I could just feel their fear kicking in, because they also got like kind of a glimpse how big this energy can be, and they were not ready, obviously, to really follow through with their call. So, but we're gonna go again. I'm like, I got the days already for October, and also for the next 10 days. And so it's like, it feels like there's a new energy for me with Egypt, which I don't know even what it means, but I just receive and make notes. And what I didn't do in the past, and this is going to be completely different now, I made a decision in the last couple of days. In the past, I would get downloads and was like, oh well, later.
Yeah,
And
I got time. No, you don't. You're having it now for a reason.
Exactly. It's like,
I know.
oh,
Tell me how
not
to
so
stop doing
important.
that. Tell me how to stop doing that. I'm a
So
little better than I used to be, but
So I need to say, I was like really mastering this really well. I got the 5 stars on that. I got it. So I don't need to prove this to myself. I'm really good at that. So, and my friend was pointing it out and said, like, Maqua, you get all those downloads and you don't follow through. Other people would be happy when they get 1 download what you get. So, and was like, okay, I really get it, because I don't take it. I didn't take it seriously enough. So, but I made a decision that everything, like what I get guidance now to do, I'm gonna take a pause. I put it in my phone, a note in my phone that I don't forget it. And it's also what I'm learning right now, and I want to share this because I haven't done this in the past. So when the information comes in, when the guidance comes in, and the time to action must be really short. If you think, oh, okay, thank you so much for sharing up here from upper management. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna have my chocolate shake real quick, take a nap, and then I'll get
Exactly. Yeah. I think about this next week, because right now I'm really busy, and then you never get back to it. Then over time, the guidance gets less and less and less, because you think, oh, it's pointless. She's not listening anyway. So, and I really got this because High Priest Adama gave me also a shake up on that. So now it's really, I get the download. Okay, I get it. How can I initiate it? What do I need to do next that I can make it happen? And even if I only put a note, or if I only tell somebody else, okay, I'm going to do this in October, and now you guys are my witnesses, because it's just happened today on my walk. It's like in October, 10 days, and it's going to go to Egypt again. So
I'm writing it down right now. See, with my phone. Hold on.
You're going to text it to me.
I'm writing it right now. I'm listening. I'm taking advice. See?
Awesome.
This is called action. Do we know the dates in October yet?
Yeah, I got the dates too. Let me check here real quick. It's from the 18th of October to the 27th. And I was like, well, this is kind of strange, like in the middle of the week, starting middle of the week. But what can I say? That's the dates.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me too. So that's what's happening. And so I feel just right now, the more we surrender, and this was also in this entire expansion with this group, the more we surrender, like today I wake up, oh, what's happening here? Not to get completely taken off my feet, so to speak, to say, okay, there's a shift, there's a change. How can we flow with it? Not freaking out, but okay, let's do a little adjustment here. Let's do a little adjustment here, and not take it too serious, but follow through with it. I think that's also like what I'm learning here right now in my expansion. And really, for all of us, this was the message already in the meet and greet. Everybody got asked already in the preparation of this trip to step out of playing small. Whatever it means for people, playing small, not being seen, not coming out, hiding out. Maybe I should not come because maybe it's too intense. Like not talking to people what they do, not sharing. I'm like, oh, actually I do healing, but I really don't want to talk about that. So every kind of smallness, I think this is gonna rubble out of our brain. And it's really everybody's asked to, okay, shine your light, shine your light, shine your light, show who you are, step into your greatness.
Well, it's interesting when you said just about playing small and what you just said prior to that about the downloading, right? Because to me, it's all the same thing, right? We're getting the downloads to come in on what what would be good for us to do, to expand, right? To move forward, to evolve in our lives, right? When we don't listen to those things, it's the same thing of allowing ourselves to be small, because those things, listening to that, who we really are, our higher selves, what's coming through to us, but avoiding that and going right or left or this, then keeps us in that small paradigm of not moving. And once we start and say, no, look, this comes through, I'm doing it right now. If I have an impetus to, hey, be on this podcast, go talk to this person, do this, I'm just doing it. I'm not thinking about the 17 things that I can get in my brain about why it may go wrong, or I'm not, all that stuff. So
tell me about that.
Yeah.
It's my first podcast. It was like, do I really want to be on a podcast right now? It's like, no, I don't. And Spirit's like, no, you will be. Like, okay, I'm here. There's no like getting out of it anymore. It's like,
thank
be
you.
brave.
Thank you. Yeah, we got.
I get it. Like,
please.
Last week I was guided to go to the Maqua Iqua rescue. I had no idea why. I mean, I do body talk on animals, but I was like, what do you want me to do? I had the biggest heart expansion I've ever experienced in my life, because I worked with a dog that I was guided to work with. And I was like, oh, that's why. I mean, volunteering there. And it doesn't matter, because like, this is your mission, Erica. You have to help the animals. Okay, I'm scared. Well, no, you're not scared, because you're going to go like headlong into the deep end and start working with animals that really need help. And you're going to get the biggest love you've ever felt in your life. So yeah, but that's what happens when we surrender to it. What we get, we can't explain. Like, there's no amount of exchange I could get that would be better or more significant to me than what I got from the dog I worked on.
And I think that's amazing. And that's the direct correlation. And I think also what's coming more into our consciousness is even more of the indirect macro correlation of every time we say that yes, right? We're opening up our field to so much more every yes that we give to that then we walk into that store in Germany when we just think we're totally normal, and people are coming up to you and, oh my God, thank you for bringing that energy. And you're like, what? I'm just, I feel normal.
Right.
You just continue to raise octaves from every time that we do that. So we don't always get that direct. When we do, it's incredible.
That is
right. But it's like, you can feel it each time you say that yes. You're like, oh,
yeah,
I feel a little different. There's nothing really that's happened on the outside that I can see right this second, possibly. But yeah.
And the feeling, I think, for me, because I'm a former academic, the feeling part is the confirmation. Like, it's nothing my head can wrap around.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
The best part.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they gave me also really beautiful, what is this called? A metaphor. So they showed me, this was completely ridiculous. So I wanted to make real quick something to eat. This was back in Mount Shasta before I went on this trip, just a couple days beforehand. So I wanted to just make a soup. So I put the soup in the pot, put the pot on the stove, and wait on the sofa until finally my soup got ready. And I'm waiting and waiting. It's like, the soup is not it's not ready. So I go back to the stove and I turned on the wrong what is
Burner?
this? The wrong burner.
Uh-huh.
So then I put it back on the right burner, and then I go back to the sofa and wait, and then this message came in and said, don't get your life distracted by all this nitty-gritty like routine stuff.
Mm.
Get your life on the right burner to be connected. If you're not connected, if your life is not on the right burner and you turn on the wrong burner, that's how most likely people live. And I did the same. I did not turn on the right burner underneath my soup. So my life was not in alignment with my guidance.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I really got it because I needed to get it so strongly, because it's happened twice at this day. I went to my office and I said like, okay, until when I come back, the rice will be done. And when I came out, I didn't even turn on the rice. And then it came again with the soup, and it was 2 times, like just in like 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 hours. And then when this came in, I was like, wow, I'm completely out of alignment, because I'm just like in this like doing 3D stuff, and I don't even hear my guidance. And I think they needed to show me this so clearly, because otherwise I would not have gotten it. And I
Right.
think that's like really for most of the people, we think we need to jump out of bed, like get ready for work, get everything organized to make the day, get ready for the day, and then we are just on this autopilot to get like to work. But in the meanwhile, we are completely off the burner.
Right.
And then maybe we go to meditation, we take ourselves on the burner for a moment, but then in daily life we go off the burner again, instead of being always all day long on the burner. And this was a really great shakeup for me to see this picture. So
That's a beautiful picture. And you know what else I love about that too is, even though you're off the burner, right? If you get in alignment, you can always just turn it on and you can heat up pretty quickly.
that's right. Yeah.
Right. Because I think that's what we forget is we get off the burner, and then, or happens to me, you know, where I'm off and then I'm like, you know I was on, I can't find my way back on. And then our brain starts to play tricks on ourselves, right? As opposed to going like, no, listen, just get on the burner and you'll be okay. It's not going to take that long. Just let it go. Just turn it up, turn it up. I love that metaphor. It's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, we have a request.
Yeah,
And,
please.
you know, we don't want to put any pressure on you. Well, definitely we want to, you know, get a podcast with you when you get back, because we want to hear about everything. We do have another request. We don't expect anything, but if by somehow there's some chance that we could do a podcast with you while you're in Egypt, and we could do like one in the middle and one afterwards and see how the journey goes, you know, that would be unbelievable. But again, you know, only if it
I actually would love that, because if we have somehow access at this tent and being on the sacred land, I don't know yet how it's going to be if we have electricity, because I would love to do Journey to Tell Us online from that Bedouin tent on the land. And we will see electricity, internet, it's all going to be in the flow, and they try to organize everything already. So maybe everything is set when we get there. But otherwise, definitely, because
well, even if you can do the Journey to Telos, maybe we could do a podcast. Maybe we do the Journey to Telos with you online, and we just do a podcast maybe right after or something. Or
totally.
One day, so you don't have to, like, you know, combine too many days.
Yeah, it's gonna come. And right now it also will be all short notice, because so the next one will be in April, I think on the 8th of April or 12th of April. Let me check real quick. April. It's gonna be 12th of April, and this is gonna be from Egypt. But then also it depends also on electricity, internet, all of that. If we may even do one on equinox, could be a little bit much, but a lot of people ask me, from my regular people who come online to the journey, because they all know that I'm in Egypt. So who knows if we can make this happen? I let you guys know, and maybe you're gonna just hop on a Zoom call and on a Zoom Journey to Tell Us, and
that'd be amazing.
Experience the equinox from Egypt.
Oh yes, count us in, count us in. Yes.
Please, and thank you.
And I just want to say, one thing to you before we go too. You know, one of my favorite books of all time that I probably read I don't know how many times I've read this book, many, many times, and I've had it in my possession, different books, and I'll give it away, and somehow it magically comes back into my life. I read it again because I know I need to read it again when I get away, right? So I'll have these experiences. Is The Alchemist, right? By Paulo Coelho. And
Yeah.
that always makes me think of Egypt and the pyramids, and it's such a beautiful story, and the philosopher's stone, and becoming one with the world, and finding your personal legend. And it's just, and I can feel it right now for you, and especially what's going on in our time in the world right now. And it's just, I'm so grateful to you, Maqua. You're such an inspiration in your listening and your just ability to connect and bring people together. And I just feel like I'm living this story vicariously through you, and you are that journeyer, for all of
Oh,
us.
that's so sweet. Thank you so much. And I feel it's also like right now what's happening with this war here in like next door, basically, with all the people who are coming over the borders, and like so much drama with like Putin and the Ukraine and all of that. It's really interesting. I did a meditation a couple of days ago, and it was all about like really, that's exactly what we do in Egypt. It's all about like coming to this feminine energy to expand it, that some masculine energy like Putin cannot ever take over other people, because when we get this out of our system, out of our DNA, out of our cellular memory, when people do that on the planet, when this is gone, the manipulation of the masculine, the negative forces of the masculine, dark agenda of the masculine, when this is out of our field, then this will never happen any place on the planet. And this is like, we do the smallest part in Egypt in our like little own way of participating to make this place a better place to step into the feminine. And we still have the masculine, but the darkness and the negativity,
The distorted
will-
masculine. Yeah.
Yeah,
We get rid of that.
exactly, this
Let
needs to
that
come
go.
out.
Mhm.
And who knows? I'm like, I hold my fingers crossed, because maybe in October more men feel really like inspired and brave enough to come, because we need men on board to have really like their like, they can't be enough masculine. It's important that the men are masculine, but that they have a healthy connection to their feminine, that they can go back and forth and can be integrated. And I think a lot of men, they put the feminine aside and just live through this masculinity, which can be good in some degree, but I think it's really often out of balance. And that's why I hope that more men gonna come.
Yes, well,
so it
and
is.
so it is. So it is. Yes. October 17th to the 28th.
18th
To the
to the
27th.
27th.
I'm going a day early. I can't wait. I got to get there a day early. Talking about. Well, we love you so much.
So much.
Thank you so much for having me on the call. And it's so awesome to see my friends from Mount Shasta here in Germany. It makes my heart like really like jumping, butterflies in my chest.
Oh, we have them too. We are feeling you and feeling Egypt, and we just can't wait to connect again. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And you're gonna be like here in spirit. And I do as much as I can from Egypt to really bring the energy and the people into the energy, and vice versa, that we have like you guys in Mount Shasta to hold it down and to bridge it. We brought water from Mount Shasta to really do rituals with the land, and like bring the Mount Shasta energy. So it's gonna be really sweet.
Yeah, please. And anytime you feel like letting us know, hey, or when are you flying to Egypt? What day?
On Wednesday, the 16th.
Wow.
Okay, Wednesday the 16th. So we'll be sending. So you're gonna. So how long of a flight is that? About?
It's 3.5 hours.
Okay, that's it. Okay. So we're going to be sending a lot of energy to Egypt on the 16th for your flight, and it gets going well. And we'll have a little.
Thank you.
For you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me and for everything that you do to make this world a better place. However you put your energy to bring people on the call, to share like your knowledge, your expertise, whatever you do, and like whoever you have on the call. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you.
Look forward to just many, many adventures in the future, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Same here.
Okay.
All right. Much love to both of you.
Much love.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.